Dr. Puneet Anand. I'm a consultant pediatrician and neonatologist working at Fortis Hospital, Kangra, Himachal Pradesh. In the second wave, more and more kids are getting infected, and most commonly between 1 to 5 years of the age group. This can be attributed to various factors. Firstly, the virus has mutated and has improved ability to evade the body's immune responses, thereby becoming more aggressive and more infectious. Secondly, more people have stopped following COVID appropriate behaviors, which has led to more adults being infected, and as a result, more children are infected at their homes. Social restriction, school closures, lockdowns all contribute to stress among parents and children and can negatively impact a child's growth and development. Socialization is very necessary for a child's optimal growth. It is very depressing for children to stay for longer periods at home. Parents or caregivers should tune into their needs regularly, talk to them about the situation, answer their queries in a very polite and gentle manner, and provide ample opportunities for exercise at home. As compared to adults, most children infected with COVID-19 are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms. Common presenting symptoms include fever, cough, sore throat, nasal congestion, headache, loss of appetite, feeling of tiredness or fatigue. Gastrointestinal symptoms like diarrhea, abdominal pain, vomiting are also noted this time. Parents or caregivers should also look out for other symptoms like breathing difficulty, altered sensorium, seizures, skin rash, and should immediately alert their pediatrician. A very rare syndrome known as multi-system inflammatory syndrome in children is noted, which presents with unremitting high fever, diarrhea, severe abdominal pain, skin rash, decreased activity. These children are very sick and they should immediately be admitted to a hospital. Most children infected with COVID-19 are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms, and they can be managed at home with home isolation. In home isolation, it is very important that parents should take care of the children if they are not sick to prevent exposure to other family members. For symptomatic treatment, paracetamol should be given for treatment of fever whenever the fever is more than 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm saline gargles for sore throat for older children and adolescents. And maintenance of adequate nutrition and hydration is of paramount importance. Parents or caregivers should be asked to look out for danger signs or symptoms like breathing difficulty, inability to breastfeed in case of an infant, bluish discoloration of lips or face, fall in SpO2 less than 94%, decreased activity, and they should immediately alert their pediatrician. Vaccinating children is an important step in controlling the pandemic as they are an important link in the transmission process. Vaccinating more and more children will help in breaking this chain of transmission. At present, there is no vaccine available for age group below 18 years in our country. But many pharmaceutical companies across the globe are working round the clock to develop a safe and effective vaccine for pediatric age. Bharat Biotech's Covaxin was recently given the nod for phase 2 and phase 3 clinical trials for the age group between 2 years to 18 years in our country, and very soon we are hopeful that a pediatric vaccine will be available in our country. Yes, children also develop antibodies after recovering from COVID-19 just like adults do, but this antibody response is different both quantitatively and qualitatively from adults. Coronavirus has not been around long enough to establish how long these antibodies will last, and hence it is still a mystery whether this antibody response will provide a lifelong or a long-term immunity. Yes, pregnant females also develop protective antibodies after contracting the disease, and these antibodies are transferred from the mother to the babies in the womb. These findings support the fact that vaccination of pregnant females may benefit their newborns. Best way to prevent children from getting multi-system inflammatory syndrome is by preventing exposure to the coronavirus, which can be done by following COVID appropriate behavior. Common side effects include fatigue, sleep disturbances, sensory impairment, mood swings, and gastrointestinal problems. Mucormycosis is a fungal infection that infects patients with medical problems that have reduced ability to fight environmental pathogens. Common predisposing factors include uncontrolled diabetes, immunosuppression with steroids, or prolonged ICU stay. As most of the children infected with coronavirus are asymptomatic or have mild symptoms, they don't require steroids or have prolonged ICU stay. So it is very unlikely that the children infected with coronavirus will have mucormycosis unless they have comorbidities like diabetes or malignancies.